Okay, so for our second video, we are explaining our state diagram in the VHDL code for problem 2. And in this problem 2, we are to modify the traffic controller so that it takes an additional input. So we're adding in the north-south input. And we're changing the logic so that once the light has changed to east-west, it stays until a car is present in the north-south direction, and then basically we'll change from there. So moving on to our code. What's here? Okay, so start with our library and entity. Here, the only change from the previous, where problem 1 is adding in our car north-south input. And here we have 4 states, still have our 6-bit logic vector output, and then again starting with the simulation with going to the reset, landing us in the initial state, and proceeding upon the rising edge of the clock to our next state. Here we're using our car east-west and our car north-south inputs. So there's a process for it. When we're in initial state, our output is as so. If we don't have a car present, then we stay in the current state. If there is a car present, then we proceed to the next state. And car present in the east-west version, by the way, or east-west lanes, I guess. And so when we move on to our second state, that's our output. We have our north-south light as yellow and our east-west is red. And then we go ahead and proceed to our next state. And in this state is where the north-south light is red and east-west light is green. And there are no other cars present. In the north-south direction, we remain in the current state. If the car is present, then we move to state 3. And state 3, that's when we change our east-west light. So basically going back to our initial state. Oh yeah, here's the output there, and this output as well. If there is no car present in north-south, then we stay in our current state. If there is a car present, then we basically change. Moving on to state 3, and here's where we're changing our east-west light to yellow, and then going back to having where are we at? Having our north-south light is green and east-west light is red. The test bench following, pretty much everything's the same. Again, adding in the component with our north-south inputs. Again, using our port map to route the bits, and here is the process, or both processes, again with the clock and with the east-west and north-south inputs, and the VHDL for those, the process for those. So yeah, so moving on to the simulation. So here, as you can see, we start off with we're in the state. Again, these states are in hex, so we're starting off in our initial state, which is with the north-south light as green and the east-west light as red. And we're moving on, we're staying there until we have a detection here at our east-west light. And when that happens, that's when things start to change up. So then we move to the next state, stays here again until we have a detection in north-south, and then we move through our states again. And yeah.